Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is the horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Virgo, and we have the Queen of Wands tonight. Okay, and let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you're new to the channel. Definitely shout it out. And if you are feeling very generous, definitely hit the little like button. It helps the channel. All right, let's see. So we have a mermaid right in the middle here. We also have a scorpion. It looks like we have, and I'm trying to figure out, what are you? It looks like a, maybe like a deer, a little deer with legs kind of like, woo, all over, kind of a surreal looking deer. And we have a heart right beneath them, okay? We have a goat, and we have a person milking the goat. It looks like they're milking the goat. So let's start with these. We have the mermaid. So the mermaid, the siren, oftentimes it really has an energy of being drawn out, right? Of whatever you've been doing, whatever course you've been on, there is kind of that sweet song on the air calling for you. Come to me, right? Come crash your ship into my rocks. Yeah, it can lead to, some problems, right? Destruction, possibly. But it also might lead to deeper insights. The mermaid, if you can imagine, swimming through the deep, dark waters of the unconscious, picking out those beautiful fragments of abstract ideas and symbols and impressions and sensations and so on. These are the building blocks of our thinking, of our experience, of our creativity. And so I feel like you are very drawn to this period of time, or within this period of time, very drawn to the process of creating, okay? And now, you know, this might be to a point of, maybe being kind of distracted, where you were kind of just, nose to the grindstone, just focused on the work, on the keeping the house together, your career, making some shmoney, all of that. And then there's these like real romantic and spiritual and just very deeply moving emanations. And you can't really focus on the work when you're feeling, drawn to this other thing, this beauty in life and strange visions and messages and dreams and, all these things, and wanting to maybe put that into some kind of creative project or spiritual work. And so this is all about finding a balance there. That's what I feel is going on with that, is finding the balance between the mundane, okay, which is your work, with money, right, 9 to 5, your household, doing the chores, getting the clothes washed and folded up and put away and all that stuff. Those lovely routines we have, and swimming in that divinity, swimming in those creative places. So finding a way to be able to kind of navigate both of those things, okay? Now, we also have this kind of spidery looking deer up here. The deer being a very sacred symbol or intelligence, right? And when it shows up in our life, this is really the time of profound connection to spirit. Now, I also see we have the heart right beneath it. So I feel like this is really driving this experience into divine love, agape. Okay, so maybe this is like a time where it's kind of like I'm working my job, I'm, you know, making, I don't know, sandwiches at Subway or wherever. That's just kind of living the mundane and keeping my household together, and I'm, you know, whatever, just kind of navigating life, and that's good. And I feel there's meaning here and connection to my family and community and all of this. And then suddenly it's like, yeah, you're having like kind of these revelations. You're having these, you know, impulses, inclinations towards living a spiritual life. So what do? You go home, you pack up your bags, and you run off to join the convent, you know? Well, maybe not. But it, you know, really it could feel that way. I'll tell you what I do. I have a family and a business and a home to run, you know, and I love my daughter and I love my husband and the cats and, you know, everything else. And I still long for a life of solitude, and I would become, if I you know, were a participant in the religion, I would become a nun. Absolutely. That sounds amazing. You know, but it really, we come into these moments of life where it's like, I would like to reshape the way that I'm living into being a spiritual being a person of God, goddess, of divine. And maybe it is that you believe more or are a part of the religion of science and the sciences. And that's, you know, it's just as much of a belief system as anything else, right? So that might be your inclination as well. But whatever it is I feel like this is a time where things are changing for you. Maybe you're getting into a new period of life. You're going into middle age. You're going into, you know, the later stages of life, and you're looking for something that feels it feels of substance. Okay, to live a life that you feel proud of, to live a life that you can look back and think, yeah, I did something that was meaningful to me, right? And so this really, it does feel like these are the emanations. Now we also have the Scorpion or the Scorpio. And to me, this is speaking of passion, of fire, of allowing yourself to really feel all of your feelings. Now, us Virgos, we're not, and I'm a solar Virgo. We're not afraid to feel our feelings. We do not hide from them. They come, they go, we feel them. You know, but I think that we're much more aware than our kindred Scorpios of how not only do our emotions affect our own life, but how we affect others with them. And I think that one of the things about a Virgo is that we can be headstrong and we can think we're right all the time, which we are. And, you know, all these things, but we're also very courteous people. I think that we really do think about the comforts of others. You know, we like to make people feel, it's like a hostess that, you know, having somebody come over your house. You're not somebody that's just gonna like, oh yeah, come in and sit down, and they just sit there and you talk at them. No, you're gonna ask them, do you want something to drink? Are you hungry? You know, would you like to go out back? Do you want to go sit by the garden? Do you want to sit in the kitchen? Where would you be most comfortable? Is it warm enough in here? Are you too cold? Or do we need to turn the AC up or whatever, right? we are creatures of comfort, but we want other people to be comfortable. And so we are courteous in that way. Okay. And that can be it can be time consuming. It can also really affect how we experience others, right? Because we're focused on, making a agreeable atmosphere, environment, approach with somebody. And so, yeah, we might be feeling how we feel, but that might kind of take priority. And so with our Scorpio kin, right, who maybe sometimes get a little bit of a bad rap for being difficult or overly emotional or, fiery, maybe a little bit volatile, or maybe have some outbursts here and there, right? But I think in a way, we really, as Virgos, look at that and it's, I don't want to be like that all the time, but maybe just like a little dash of that. That might be it might be nice to feel like, hey, I can put my foot down. Hey, I'm going to really just lay it on thick here. I'm really going to indulge in my passions and my, my inclination towards whatever, if I'm happy, angry, sad, whatever it is, I'm going to let it rip. Okay. And I feel like this is something that is coming up in your life. And yeah, maybe you're feeling like, oh, what's going on here? I've been a little bit more sassy than I usually am. I'm a little bit more vocal about my, the things that I'm kind of not happy with, or my annoyances, my grievances. I'm going to air out my grievances here. And in the quiet moments, you might think, ooh, I might have to reel this in. But at the same time, you've gotten a lot off your chest, and you're just kind of things, the baggage that you're holding, right? All of the many thoughts and the many things that kind of irk you or make you really happy or whatever it is, you're just carrying them around, and it becomes kind of heavy, and you feel, I just feel good that I've been able to express this. I've been able to say it finally. I've been able to just get it out there, and that feels good. I don't have to worry about it like kind of, building up and pouring out of me later, right? So it is. I feel like this is a wonderful sign to see, and quite beneficial to the overall experience of things, right? Releasing a little bit of that steam. The pressure is going down a little bit. All right. So what else did we have? I remember, what else did we see over here? Oh, yes, the goat. Okay. So the goat is a sign, a symbol of endurance. Okay. Also the ability to traverse difficult situations. Now we also have a person who's milking a goat, which, listen, goat cheese is the best. I'm just going to say honey and goat cheese and like a couple dates and some olives. Ooh, I'm in love. I'm absolutely in love right now, even just thinking about it. So I feel like there is this sense of really taking advantage of your ability to scale the most difficult of situations, right? The hills, the mountains. You can think of a mountain goat, right? And you look at them and they're just standing there. It looks like they have no footing, yet they find it. Okay. So I feel that you are really accessing this part of yourself, and it is helping you. It is helping you to kind of clear out any of the obstructions in your life, those blockages, both emotional, spiritual, and maybe even truly in your life, okay? Like in your home, in your workspace. And you know, where problems are coming up, I can just see you kind of just quickly getting through them, figuring it out, following your intuition, and ultimately having this help you produce something quite beautiful, quite lovely, you know, and so that would be like the milk, the cheese, right? The beauty of the thing. And so I just ultimately, I'm seeing you in such a place of power. I really am. We have that fieriness. We have that, you know, kind of getting shooken out of the path that you've been on, noticing greater things, allowing yourself to indulge in those things, being part of that sacred bond, that belovedness. And it all comes together so beautifully. Now we also have up here, it looks like a turtle. So this is a reminder to take your time with things, right? And then down here we have, it looks like a person on a motorcycle. So it's kind of the opposite. It looks like we have like really cruising, feeling the vibe, the emotions, really getting into it. And then at the same time, taking your time. So this reminds me of one of my favorite sayings, which is festina lente. And this is, what it translates to is hasten slowly. It's what is that called? Like an oxymoron. Doesn't necessarily make sense. How do you hurry up to slow down? Right? But it is. It is. It is a feeling of getting to that place quickly where you know you can just kind of meander through, experience the thing, be present, be right there in it. Don't let this pass you by because you are in a very special place. This is not something that comes to us very often, Virgo. We're usually stressed and busy and adding more tasks and lists and responsibilities and everything else. Once in a while, we get this little moment, this reprieve from that. And I implore you to swim in it. Just absolutely take it all in. Okay? Now, we're going to look over here. And I got to hurry up because I'm running late. And actually, my husband, shout out to Devin Serpentero, he's about to film right after me. So we got to get moving here. We have, it looks like the Eiffel Tower. So I'm thinking love. This might be a trip. It might be a romantic, you know, a romantic rendezvous, a renewal of romanticism within the relationship. But there is connection here, okay? We also have, it looks like an eye. So I like is in self, and it looks like we have a message from a bird, the bird messenger. We have a bee and we have a squirrel. So it feels like there is a sense of really working to kind of build up the nectar of the thing, or the honey, right? And busy at that. And we also have the squirrel, which is about saving, putting things away for later. So I do feel like this is kind of a sense of like building your spiritual and emotional resources up, getting recharged in this period of time, which for a Virgo, love. It absolutely, it doesn't have to be romantic, but a love of, you know, whatever it is you're doing, where you're at, the people you're around, being in a place of really connecting with the things you're doing, being happy and joyful in your ability to partake in them and to excel in whatever you're doing. So this is what really feeds your soul. And I feel like this is a good reminder to not only pace yourself through this, to be present, but to, kind of make sure that you are remembering how you're feeling, writing down maybe, you know, the impressions that you're getting. How does it feel to be in love with your life? How does it feel to be doing well in your practices and your work and keeping the house flowing, and you know, there being an ease to things, having a, I feel like it's having like the most beautiful summer afternoon. Like it's not too hot, it's nice and sunny, you're just sitting out, you know, watching the animals around you, there's a little bit of a breeze, you don't feel like you're weighed down by anything, you are in love, there's a belovedness here. And to remember what that feels like, put that into your memory. Let your heart hold on to that, okay? That is the honey of the thing. Now, we're going to do the Whispering Woods and the Woodland Wardens. And I'm going to do one of each. I know this isn't usually how I do my oracle cards, but I'm going to try something new. We're going to flip through and stop where it feels right. It says, humility. Flowers are unaware of each other's beauty. They bloom regardless. Humility. All right. And then we're going to flip through these ones, see how this all comes together. And it says, the Wolf and Hip Rose, guardianship. Guardianship. I had my first hip rose on one of my rose bushes last summer, and I was like, what is that? I had never had one grow before. Well, it was only like maybe I think my 3rd year of having rose bushes. Now I'm so excited to put in a rose garden at some point here pretty soon. Maybe next summer is like my big expansion of our gardens and stuff. But yes, the rose hip is gorgeous. It's just something just so holy about it. I don't know how to explain it, but if you've had them on your bushes, and if you are somebody who, you know, grows roses, it is such a beautiful art. And for that to show up feels just divine. But I feel like there's just a sense of, it feels like a guardianship of self, protecting self. It's like when you have that urge to get like on Facebook or whatever, and you know you're going to go look at somebody that maybe like you grew up with, they're rich, they're beautiful, everything seems to come easily to them, and you just have this impulse to like go look and feel, well, maybe a little bit of envy, a little bit of jealousy, you know, thinking, why am I not that gorgeous? Why am I not that good at something? I haven't found anything like that in my life, you know, and it's like, we know what it's going to feel like when we get there. We know we shouldn't, but we do it anyways. So we need to really check into our humility, not only for other people, but for ourselves, right? Also being the guardian that says, nope, don't do it. Do not go looking at those messages. Don't look at those posts. Don't look at that person's profile. Just do something else. Go to the mirror and talk yourself up. Do your affirmations. Remind yourself of who the heck you are. Remember who you are. Okay? And yeah, that belovedness. Let that rise. Guard that. Okay? It's important. We need it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you, because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you're new to the channel. Shout it out in the comments. And with that, I will tell you again, I love you, I love you, I love you. Take care of yourself. And we'll talk in a couple days. Good night.